It's Wednesday, May 22nd. 22 parties of the opposition met the Election Commission on Tuesday and submitted a memorandum asking that the verification of VVPAT slips of randomly identified polling stations should be done prior to the initiation of counting of votes and not after the completion of the last round of counting. The opposition parties have also asked the Election Commission to lay down procedure in cases of mismatch in the voting figures in EVMs and VVPATs. The parties have asked the EC to count all the VVPAT slips in the assembly segment if a mismatch is found. VVPAT, or Voter Verified Paper Audit Trail, is an independent system attached to the EVM that allows the voter to verify that their vote has been cast as intended. The Supreme Court had in April issued directions that VVPAT slips of 5 electronic voting machines in every assembly constituency be physically counted and verified. The EVMs will be randomly selected. Earlier, VVPAT slips from only one EVM per assembly segment was being verified. Former Chief Election Commissioner S.Y. Qureshi points out that a total of 1,500 machines have been counted so far as per the earlier norm of counting slips generated by one VVPAT in each assembly constituency, and not a single mismatch has been detected. However, writing in the DNA earlier this month, Qureshi contended that while as per existing provision, if there is a mismatch, the VVPAT count will prevail, perhaps all machines in the constituency should then be counted. The apex court, he points out, called for better voter confidence and credibility of the electoral process. If it takes time, so be it. After all, it was the purpose behind the introduction of voter-verified paper audit trails.
We have raised these same issues in the last 1.5 months in writing, in a delegation of the Congress, in delegations combined of the Congress, TDP and other parties. Now, we ask the EC, why have they not responded? I think this is, if I may use that phrase with great respect, a no-brainer. And the Election Commission has not decided it for 6 weeks. They are now saying that they will again meet tomorrow.
Days ahead of counting, video clips reportedly from Uttar Pradesh, Haryana and Bihar surfaced online, which the opposition said showed alleged attempts at EVM tampering and violations of the poll process with respect to transport and storage of EVMs. While responding to complaints on the alleged movement of EVMs circulating on social media, the poll panel in a statement said, "The visuals seen viral on media do not pertain to any EVMs used during the polls." The poll panel said any lapse in handling and storage of reserve EVMs are also thoroughly investigated and disciplinary action taken against the officers responsible. It said all polled EVMs and voter-verified paper audit trail units are stored at designated strong rooms which are sealed with double locks in the presence of candidates and observers of the poll panel. The Commission said the entire process of storage and sealing of the strong room is recorded on video. Continuous CCTV coverage is done till the completion of counting. The poll panel said strong rooms are guarded round the clock by personnel of the Central Armed Police Forces. Candidates or their designated agents are also present at the strong room at all times. However, echoing the opposition's concerns, former President Pranab Mukherjee in a statement said, "I'm concerned at reports of alleged tampering of voters' verdict. The safety and security of the electronic voting machines, which are in the custody of the Election Commission of India, is the responsibility of the Commission. There can be no room for speculations that challenge the very basis of our democracy." With most exit polls projecting that the BJP-led NDA will retain power, the party appears to be making a power play in states like Madhya Pradesh. The leader of the opposition in the state, BJP's Gopal Bhargava, has written to Governor Anandi Patel seeking the convening of a special assembly session. It would appear to move for a trust vote. News agency PTI quoted Bhargava as saying, "I'm writing a letter to the governor for convening a special session shortly. We want a discussion on important issues like farm loan waiver and to test the government's strength." Chief Minister Kamal Nath responded by saying he's prepared for a floor test. "I've already told them the BJP is trying it for long. I've proved majority in the House 4 times in the last 5 months and I'm ready for another floor test." The BJP was talking about the instability of the Congress-led government as it wanted to save itself from getting exposed about its corrupt rule. Kamal Nath told PTI.
मुझे कांग्रेस के विधायकों पर पूरा विश्वास है। मुझे कम से कम 10 विधायकों ने अभी कहा कि हमें ऐसे फोन आ रहे हैं, इतना पैसा का प्रलोभन दे रहे हैं, ऐसे पद का प्रलोभन दे रहे हैं।
In the 230-member assembly, the Congress has 114 legislators, too short of a majority. The BSP and the SP, who are supporting the Congress government, have 2 and 1 seats respectively. The BJP has 109. There are 4 independents. The Congress had returned to power in the state in December 2018 after a period of 15 years. Meanwhile, there is speculation that the JDS Congress government in Karnataka could be in some trouble. Exit polls have predicted the alliance as not doing well in the parliamentary elections. If the results confirm this, the uneasy understanding between the two parties may come under further strain. Just 8 months after Kerala witnessed the worst floods in a century, 12 of the state's 14 districts are facing an acute drinking water shortage. While deficient rainfall is to blame, so also is the widespread destruction of forests, paddy fields, and laterite hills. The ongoing crisis is the result of a combination of factors, including a poor northeast monsoon and the lack of proper water conservation, experts said. Kerala received 23% excess rainfall during the southwest monsoon from June to September 2018, contributing to the devastating floods. The northeast monsoon from October to December, however, yielded 3% less rainfall than normal. The situation worsened as the pre-monsoon season, which is March 1st to May 15th, saw 45% deficient rainfall. VP Dineshan, Senior Principal Scientist at the Center for Water Resource Development and Management in Kozhikode, explains that groundwater levels dropped because of deficient rainfall in the months following the floods. That is one of the reasons for water scarcity. Kerala received 80% less rainfall than normal following the floods. We had more dry spells and it resulted in a drop in groundwater levels. A study by Dineshan's team found groundwater levels had fallen 1 to 4 meters across Kerala. To address the crisis, the Kerala Water Authority has deployed special teams to monitor the situation, and the government has sanctioned 5 lakh rupees to all Gram Panchayats for distribution of water. Last week, we had reported on the severe water crisis in Mangalore, where drastic rationing measures were implemented, which meant cutting off water supply for 3 whole days. Chennai, too, is in the grip of a water crisis. In what is a leap in the field of genetics, scientists created the world's first organism with a completely human-written DNA. Researchers at the Medical Research Council's Laboratory of Molecular Biology in Cambridge last week submitted that after trying for 2 years, they managed to redesign the DNA of bacterium Escherichia coli, commonly known as E. coli, which lives in soil and in our gut. The altered bacteria, called Sin61, are unusually shaped and reproducing slowly, scientists submitted in their paper, but are very much alive. The achievement one day may lead to organisms that produce novel medicines, reports the New York Times. E. coli, for example, is already used to make insulin and medicines to treat multiple sclerosis, heart attacks, etc. However, entire production runs can be spoiled when bacterial cultures are contaminated with viruses or other microbes. Invading viruses will struggle to spread from inside the modified bacteria, making them in effect virus-resistant, the lead researcher Jason Chin told The Guardian. What scientists essentially did was to rewrite the DNA of E. coli, producing 970 pages of genetic code, making it the largest genome ever written by humans. 9 years ago, researchers created a synthetic cell which was about 1/4 the size of this genome. Love your morning fix? Help support our journalism. Subscribe to Scroll Plus using the link in the description.